Always know where your feet are. This is something I grew up hearing from my dad. I'd run through the barns barefoot and race straight through a cow pie, or stub my toe on a rock and topple over, and I'd hear him say, "Know where your feet are." How did he even see that? This lesson has stuck with me. Know where your feet are, know the community in which you're rooted, connect with the literal earth that you stand on, care for your foundation. Even as we build on top a life, an economy, we always need to be reinforcing and restoring our foundation. Because when you have a strong and healthy foundation, everything built on top will grow and thrive. A dairy farmer's favorite shape is a circle. A closed-loop system is a supply chain that uses the same materials over and over again to make something new. It's a practice that conserves natural resources, minimizes waste, and nourishes the foundation of the business. Dairy farmers and their cows have been closing loops for millennia. The cow eats from the land, fertilizes the soil, and makes more food to eat. Each step along the way only makes the next one healthier. Healthy cow, healthy land, healthy food. The most important part of any dairy farm is, of course, the herd. We couldn't do our work of producing food for our community without them. This sign on the farm serves as a constant reminder that they're the foundation of our business. Our cows, our girls, are our highest priority, always. Not a day has gone by where we didn't feed, milk, and tend our animals. Every weekend, every Christmas morning, every day for 215 years. On my family farm, we're always doing our darndest to keep up with best practices and the newest technology. We provide the best nutrition, feed raised from the land that we farm. We keep the barns clean and cozy and comfortable in all seasons. We work closely with our veterinarian, nutritionists, and hoof care specialists to monitor animal health. And to provide our girls with the most autonomy in their day, we use a robotic milking system. Each cow sets her own schedule, lounging, eating, socializing, or coming to milk when she's ready. The robotic milkers make us more efficient with our labor. Our cows are producing better quality milk and more of it. And we've reduced our feed and vet bills thanks to better data. The robotic milkers help us produce better milk for our community, better meet our bottom line as a business, all while providing the best possible care for our herd. Our animals are the foundation of our family farm, and we must nurture our foundation if we want everything built on top to thrive. So a dairy farmer's favorite shape is a circle. I've become concerned with another shape that seems to be growing in popularity, the line. This shape doesn't do much to regenerate or restore our foundation. You send your money out of your community, they send you what you ordered. It's a pretty linear transaction, a broken loop in the circle. Let's say you come to our family farm stand for a sandwich. This is our Shermanator, our most popular menu item. Some of your purchase will go toward the ingredients that made the sandwich. The cheese from Cabot, Vermont, the tomatoes from Forex Farm in Hadley. Some of your purchase will go toward state and local taxes, which is cool because you live here and it's nice to have nice schools and roads. Some of your Shermanator purchase is going to go into the pockets of the people that made your sandwich, and that's good because they live here too, and we want them to be able to buy things like food and state park passes, things that connect them with this place that they live, or to help them pay for their nursing degree at the local community college. And then some money will go back into the business that you bought it from. This is going to pay for maintenance and restaurant stuff, but we're on a farm here. So you're helping to feed and care for our cows, our land, and our soils, and our family. Maybe you used a credit card, so those processing fees are going to head down to the CEO's offshore bank. But otherwise, all your money stayed right here in New England, where you live, in the place that you love. Each of those farms and businesses and people create their own closed loops in your community, looping together like weaving a fabric. The stronger that fabric, the stronger the local economy, the stronger your foundation. Money moves like nutrients in the soil. It needs to cycle and move throughout if we want an economy to survive and thrive. Farms and businesses and services in the Pioneer Valley need reliable inputs to make meaningful investments in our community. When my grandpa retired at the age of 70, he was working 65 hours a week and went down to just 30 hours a week. And what he loved to do most was garden. He'd spend hours in the garden, May through October, in all conditions, bent over, hoeing the earth, weeding and tending the family garden. Come April, he'd take a wheelbarrow full of composted cow manure and fold it into the dirt. feeding the soil that would grow the seeds he'd pull from his pocket and plant in the ground. We must nurture our foundation if we want everything on top to grow. Like most area farms, Barstow's Longview Farm implements a number of practices to elevate soil health in the Pioneer Valley. We use rotational cropping and plant cover crops, restoring nutrients in our fields. A few years ago, we transitioned to 100% no-till planting on all 450 acres of our farmland. Tillage has been used for centuries all over the world, annually turning soil ecosystems on their head and releasing carbon stored in the earth back into the atmosphere. The solution? No-till planting reduces soil erosion, maintains biodiversity, and keeps the soil intact while making it like a sponge for water and carbon retention. This is a climate-forward way to plant crops, and it's happening in your front yard. Nurture your foundation if you want everything on top to grow. Alternately, farmers know that poor soil practices degrade our foundation. Tillage, overgrazing, poor manure management all cause runoff of topsoil and nutrients, which pollutes our waterways, destroys our soils, and makes our region less climate resilient and food secure. It's similarly poor practices that degrade our local economy. There's a one-way conveyor belt that takes money from the foundation and sends it down the river. Nutrient runoff, as a soil scientist may say. Credit card processing fees, heavily lobbied legislation, online shopping takes money from our economy and sends it out of our communities. Nurture your foundation if you want everything on top to grow. Meanwhile, for every dollar generated from dairy farming, it turns over 3 times in the local community. Almost 2/3 of Massachusetts farm supply and service expenditures are spent in the state. Repairs, vet care, supplies, equipment, and seed. Dairy farmers take the long view and are stewards of our local economies, investing in our family farms for the next generation and the generation after that, making decisions today with our scope set for 200 and 300 years away. When we have more farms around, it makes it a good place to open a farm-to-table restaurant, to set up your repair shop, or begin your vet business. But when we lose farms in the area, the collective voice of farmers is quieter. The legislators stop listening. The tractor dealership moves to a more rural community. The grain truck makes less frequent stops. Farmland is built on. It makes it harder for the remaining farms to run an efficient business, so they might shut down too. Look, buying local is not a novel concept. We all know we should support our local farms and businesses, but it's time we also recognize the hidden costs of not spending dollars locally and sending them elsewhere. As consumers, we could buy cheap stuff now and replace it in a couple years, but some things are hard to replace. Soil health, sense of community, the many, many loops in the fabric of a local economy. We have to pay for what things are worth and see the value beyond what we hold in our hand. There's a lot more value in, say, a gallon of local milk than just being an affordable, healthy, nutritious food. That purchase, that gallon of milk, is an investment in conserved open space, clean air and groundwater, wildlife habitat, a deep connection to New England heritage, and a more food-secure, climate-resilient Massachusetts. There's the reason a dairy farmer's favorite shape is a circle. It leaves us all feeling more whole. From the cows and the soil to the farms, businesses, and school systems, nurture your foundation, sustain your community, and everything grown within it will thrive. Thank you.